Hi everybody and welcome back. This is actually the third RWB that I took off to my scale. You know that I usually make review and I build up stuff that is usually in 124 scale instead. This is in 118 scale, but I really like the RWB. Is also part of the game that they are extremely cheap for the quality they can give you today, so it's extremely good. We can have this type of items on the market, you know. And this is the second RWB 993 car that I took. The first one was the blue one. You find also the video in my channel about the review of that other model, you know, that featured the different, completely different livery, minor detail in the wings and in the smallest silly details, and mostly different wheels, you know. Instead, this featured the most classical RWB 5-sprocket wheels, and it was extremely interesting because it's a 993 car-based RWB conversion that is taking inspiration from the Martini livery car used back in the days. You know, this is retaken the shape of the 2.1 RSR turbo car from 1974, and also the silver color is matching to that type of car, but this is a brand new ordinary luxury street car, you know. And Solido completely get the shape of the RWB, mostly the setup, you know. The setup is absolutely perfect in this model. As usual, I will not, because my plan is anyway to keep it for some time and then resell, of course, this stuff. So I will not completely unbox it completely and take it away the plastic. There is other videos online where you can see the people opening the door, but it's a toy, so we know which is the level of the details of this stuff, you know. Of course, they features also in a previous video. I said that they didn't have the steering column working, you know. Instead, all these toys have the steering, of course, working, so you can really game like you want on the floor, on the carpet, and also opening doors, you know. Instead, that rear wing is not openable. Despite some say that if you unassemble the model, you know, under there is basically nothing. There is just a closure made in plastic with very generical details for the undercarriage, but is no problem because when the model is displayed in this position, nobody will see the undercarriage, and there is no needing in this level of model to show that type of detail, you know. And some say that if you disassemble the model, there is two screw or two rivets under the rear wing, so you can also disassemble that part and make a different, probably different theme, probably like a ducktail or something like that. You know, I absolutely have no clue and no idea to do that type of job, because they have to remain exactly as they are, and I think it's absolutely a perfect job. You know, the model is from a modeler point of view is eye-catching from far away. You know, it was really something that made me fall in love this type of livery. I made so many Martini cars, and I know how difficult it is to make this decal run all over the body of the car, so of course I wanted to have it, you know. And it is also funny that the RWB guys make a kind of copy of the Martini logos and the Martini sponsorship that is similar but not exactly the same identical logos that you will have on the actual car. So just reminding a kind of copy inspired to that logos from back in time. It was a little bit disappointing to see that this model that I took, this specific model that I took, was a little bit dirt in the final assembly. So I found a little too much fingerprints over the model. I don't know if maybe the guy that sold me this stuff, but it was brand new stuff, so I don't think so. Was using that for a kind of previous expo where he had to show this model to other people, you know. So maybe it was there that the fingerprints went over, you know. All these models are made by Solido. You know, Solido was a French company, very famous French company, working since 1932. But if you turn the box, of course, all these items are made by the guys, but our little friends working like hell down in Bangladesh. So the assembly is the same one that we can find inside the Centauri Edicon, inside all the kind of toys they cast. Probably they are quite skilled guys down there to make this type of assembly. You know, they are made in a kind of assembly line, so there is the point where they take all the model, there is the point where they paint the model, there is the part where they apply the tempo decal, and the final assembly, usually made in gloves and so on, and with ordinary cotton gloves, you know, to avoid any kind of fingerprints. And the quality, I once again say this is stuff that is quite cheap for the dimension I have. I think This 993 have been made by GT Spirit, Auto Art, something like that, in 1/18 scale, but it was a model that costed over 200 euros. Instead, this is a model that cost 50 euros, so there is a huge difference in the price of what you get. But if basically you are just interested in the shape of a model like this, like I am, I just love the RWB. I owned it in the 90s, a 993, and I still regret that they gave it away. Because today that will be worth a lot of money, and the car was absolutely lovely to drive, and the real last air-cooled Porsche, so I really still love the car, so I have in my heart the 993. And about this RWB, I took 2 die cast in a 1/18, plus I think 3 model in 1/24, the C1 model, the Cabrio model that I made, and another one to build up, plus the 964 RWB. So I really like this film, this raw Welt sounding German, and it is instead something completely made in Japan at your own address, because the Nakai-san guy from RWB used to come to your address, stay with you in your house, despite you like it or don't like it. Usually if people invite, of course, I'm joking, they love to have an artist like him at home. And then he made the signature, and the signature is also placed inside this type of model, because the real value for RWB is when they are signed down by him. As I say, the finishing, if you go closer to look from a very, very near point of view, there is a lot of little tiny imperfections, little crack in the decal. Some decals are not applied in the proper way, so there is something that is not at the level, for example, of the previous blue one that I showed you before on the channel. I think this is because probably of the complexity of the painting scheme of this particular version and so on. This indeed cost a little more than the blue car, even probably for this final reason, But once again, it's absolutely worth it to have it, because the model is absolutely stunning. And if you like big Porsches in big scale, particular Porsches in big scale, this is absolutely a must to have in your own collection, even if you don't want to take it out from the box. If you want to take it up, even better, just beware of the dust. As usual, with this type of model, the level of the details is absolutely decent for the level of the price they are asking for this kind of toys, So in my opinion, is absolutely suggested that the buying of this stuff, Nothing more to say. As I said, I love it, and I hope this will be my last RWB car in this scale, but you never know. Maybe they do something more, something nice, and maybe they will do my narrow body version of the 911 that they made in 1/24 scale. So let's see what's going on. If the shape is so well done like this, I probably will go on and buy another one of that and then present this on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.